So this was absolutely amazing for me. This was just a whole nother level. It was mind blowing. It was just like really good. And I'm so grateful. It was like a deeper level. It felt like root causes was being just like wiped clean. So I thank you so, so, so much, because this was my first time doing anything like this with somebody else leading me. It's always been one-on-one. And then to be in a group environment, it felt so much more powerful to me. So I thank you so much. And I felt this vibration come through like from my heart and go all the way up and down my chakras. But when you had us come to the point where my mom was holding me, I felt nothing but love. I felt love from my mom. I felt love from my dad. And that's what broke me down. I started crying because then I could feel the love from God. And it was just like my whole body was trembling because the love was so powerful and was so pure. And then it was just like, I was just crying like the silent tears. And then when I got to the part with my inner child on the beach, it was so refreshing. I was able to hear her. She heard me. And I was just holding her. And we were just sitting there, we was rocking, looking at the water. It was so beautiful. It was just like these layers were just coming off. It was like stuff that I had seen before, had observed before, but it was like a deeper level. It felt like root causes was being just like wiped clean. So I thank you so, so, so much. I've done a lot of the inner healing work, just like being spirit led on my own. And when we were journaling, it was something that I had faced before, but it was different because this time it was like, I realized that when I saw what I saw, it was a situation with my mom. And after my dad left and she came out the room, she was crying, she was holding money. And she grabbed me and took me to the living room. And next thing I know, we're on her knees and she has this big red Catholic Bible and she's crying and she's begging for God to help her. And I was like, I was terrified, right? And I had acknowledged that before, but this time it was the strangest thing because it was so beautiful. I literally saw my older self hug my younger self and tell her it's okay to trust for the provision. That was your mom's wounds. This is not yours. And then when we went to the womb, I remember the conversation my mom told me that she married my dad on a rebound. And for me, I took that because she didn't really love my dad, then she couldn't really love me. So I wasn't a product of love. And that was something else I had came to mind years ago, but I never addressed it. And it was like, oh my goodness. And I literally felt her wishing that it was the man that she was in love with, that she was having me with. And I just observed it and I didn't judge it. But when you had us come to the point where my mom was holding me, I felt nothing but love. I felt love from my mom. I felt love from my dad. And that's what broke me down. I started crying because then I could feel the love from God. And it was just like my whole body was trembling because the love was so powerful and was so pure. And then it was just like, I was just crying like the silent tears. And then when I got to the part with my inner child on the beach, it was so refreshing. I was able to hear her. She heard me. And I was just holding her. And we were just sitting there. We was rocking, looking at the water. It was so beautiful. It was just like these layers were just coming off. It was like stuff that I had seen before, had observed before, but it was like a deeper level. It felt like root causes was being just like wiped clean. So I thank you so, so, so much, because this was my first time doing anything like this with somebody else leading me. And then to be in a group environment, it felt so much more powerful to me. So I thank you so much.
Wow. Wow. And I don't know if you guys noticed, I tried to not show that my voice was trembling, but I was picking up that some of you were crying and I could feel it. And I had tears just coming out of my eyes. And I'm like, okay, keep like talking, but I let myself feel. And so I was taking the pauses because I could tell that you needed that time. You needed those pauses. And what you just shared just so important what you acknowledged, this memory and this, what happened and your mom's choices and then how you interpreted them as a child and now how you interpret them as an adult. I can just feel the shift within you. Mm-hmm. And you shared yesterday in Clubhouse room how you had that. Was it the same day that I scanned?
It was the same day, and I felt led to just go into meditation. And so I was doing a meditation and I saw this face come to me and I was like, what? And it just kept coming closer and closer. And it was the life that you told me, that the Egyptian life I saw. And I was like, that's me. Like, I recognized me. And then I got real excited and I was like, oh, and I kind of came out of it because I got so excited. It just kind of pulled me out of the meditation. But I was like, oh my goodness, it's me. Like, even right now, my room is smoky to me. It's hazy. It's like, yeah. It's
well, Nawal had Egyptian lives. I've had Egyptian lives. And I think when I did a scan yesterday during Clubhouse for Husseina, the life that came through when she was a little girl, that was also in Egypt. So do you guys see the connection? Mm-hmm. Like, Egypt, and then Nawal, in her last session, we saw a life she had in Atlantis before she left on a boat to escape the destruction of Atlantis to go to Egypt. And before this, I had seen lifetimes that she's had in Egypt. And I
am Egyptian. But the funny thing is that, when you said, Egyptian life for Lizsolette, and one of the thoughts that I had when I did my thing is that when I was on the beach, I was thinking, just be free. Stop worrying about what people are thinking about me. And even I was thinking about my hair. I said, even my hair, I straighten it and do all the stuff, but it could look just like Lissolette's if I let it go, if I don't do anything. And I was thinking, maybe that's what I should do. Just don't give a crap about what people think and be comfortable with it and be myself, basically. But I thought about that. But yeah, the Egyptian thing keeps coming back. Everybody had Egyptian roots of some sort, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's funny that she says that, because that was part of the reason why I started wearing my hair natural, because I used to always get it blown out. And after a while, I was like, you know what? If I want to do that, because I feel like it cool, but let me start just rocking my hair the way it is. And so funny that you said that.
You should do that. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, I'm waiting, Noel.
Yeah. One day
I'm waiting.
I'll be on. You're gonna say, who is this?
I just love seeing this transformation. And then, Lissolette comes on and you see the hair that you've been thinking about doing. So, I mean, look at this. It's like everything is in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And do you guys notice yesterday on Clubhouse how, people left. 4 hours later, they come back. We're still going. And then I'm like, okay, now we're going to finish. And then I start playing the song. And then David comes in right at that song. He's the one who introduced me to that song. And then, of course, we stay on talking more. And right when I start talking about the crown chakra, and then Mimi comes back and she's like, oh, right when you're talking about the crown, because her crown chakra was blocked. So you guys are seeing this, synchronicity. And, this is even additional proof that whether you need more proof or not, some people do. And it's just, even if you don't need more proof, it's just so refreshing to see it, even for myself, because I'm constantly seeing stuff and I'm obsessed with always noticing numbers, because I'm just always just seeing things. Right. And so this is just additional proof to trust and believe that everything is synchronized. We are divinely guided. There are signs. We are all connected. We are all one. People go, well, we're not just all connected, we're all one. Yes, we're all connected because we are all one. So your arm is connected to your shoulder, and one body, one soul, and we all split up into these different manifestations to have this incredible human experience. And so we're here to learn and evolve and grow. And so I'm so grateful, Lissolette, your first time.
A lot of the inner child healing was just spirit-led. Like
on your own.
Yeah, things would come to mind and it was like, oh, wow. And I would get the understanding of how it was impacting me. And I've taken my little girl to the park, talk to her, love on her. But this was just a whole nother level. It was mind blowing. It was just like really good. And I'm so grateful, because it's just to see like the fact that I've been doing the inner work it allowed me to be in a position right here today to get to this part. Because the last two things that I shared, even though I had acknowledged them before, there was still another layer of healing that needed to come forth from it. Yeah. And to know that I was open to the journaling. And when I journaled, the very moment that came up is what I saw. But I allowed, it was like seeing myself love on that little girl was just like, whoa. You know, it was like, okay. And when you were, it was like I was seeing things right before you were saying it. Like when you started counting, I was seeing myself in the womb. And when you counted again, I saw my mom holding me. It was like, wait, it was just.
I knew, yeah, I could feel that, because here's the thing, because I already said, when I count to 8, this is what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And this happens to me too. If I listen to something guided, I'm already there. Like I'm so tapped and tuned in. Before the thing already starts, I'm already like, I've already seen 3 past lives. I've already like went to one planet, another planet. So I already knew that even though I haven't started counting yet, some of you, if not all of you, are already seeing, are already there. And that's okay, because once again, time is an illusion, and, you know, all dimensions exist at the same time. And so as some of you who've taken my past life regression workshop, you see that, yes, we also do go through the womb, and then we go back further in time. But with this inner child healing, it's a process of going through what you just went through, layer by layer. And in some people who haven't done any type of inner child work, they can still have an incredible experience in their first time. And you happen to do a lot of work on your own. And so you had this experience. And like you said, it's a whole another layer. Or you said it's a whole another level, and you went through more layers. So it is layer by layer. So as Tamara asked earlier, do we ever fully heal completely? It's a journey. And yes, you do heal completely, and you get to a point. Now, when I say completely, like I said, I don't feel depression anymore. I don't feel anxiety anymore. Now, am I still continuing to learn and evolve? Yes, the growth process, you can get to a point where you feel you healed, you're aware, you're not in the ego, you're connected to your soul, you're connected to your higher self. And that doesn't mean that you just, okay, I know everything, I don't need to know everything, I don't want to know about anything else. The learning continues. You can be fully healed and still continue to ascend even higher, because that's the purpose of this life, is to keep ascending to the point where we are meant to be, which is where we came from. So that's the point of this entire existence. It's a journey. We're in a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journey. And I'm just so grateful to be able to witness and be at least a tiny bit of, a part of your journey. And then some people go, Anna, you helped me awaken, and you're the reason why I woke up. And you know what? I'm the conduit. Someone else helped me wake up. I continued to do the work, and you're here to wake up. And sometimes you need a guide, and sometimes you need someone to give you a little nudge, to give you a little, and here we are, and that's what we're doing. So anything else you want to share? Or, that was beautiful. Wow.
That was it. You're right. I was happy that I didn't get in my head, but wait for her to count. Cause sometimes I could be so exact, like, wait. But this time I just allowed. Only other thing, I'm just, why is it still smoky in here? I feel like I'm here, but I'm still someplace else.
Yeah. And it's not the green screen, bridge screen, which makes you look smoky. It's actually smoky in your room. I know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I do sometimes. You probably have seen. I don't know. Some of you just started following me on Instagram, but I had a quote recently about, how I've seen the matrix codes, I've seen different things. And so, we were in 7D, we were at the source. And so now you're back in 3D, and you're still staying tuned and tapped in. So
awesome. Thank you.
You're so welcome, my dear. Okay. So who was next?